Have you ever met someone who's always smiling, always joking, always saying they're fine, even when something feels off? They light up the room, make everyone laugh, and somehow never complain. But sometimes the brightest smiles hide the heaviest weight. What if that smile isn't happiness at all, but armor? And what if understanding that changes how you see people forever? We're taught from a young age that smiling is good. It means you're polite, strong, and handling life well. In America especially, we praise positivity and tell people to stay strong or look on the bright side. But emotions don't work like light switches. You can't just turn pain off because it makes others uncomfortable. For many people, smiling becomes a habit, not because they're happy, but because they've learned it's safer. People who hide pain with a smile aren't pretending for attention. Most of the time, they're doing it to survive socially and emotionally. And psychology has a lot to say about why this happens. Let's start with the most common reason people hide pain with a smile. They don't want to be a burden. Somewhere along the way, they learned that their feelings were too much for others. Maybe they grew up hearing things like, "Don't be dramatic," or "Other people have it worse." Over time, they stopped sharing pain and started covering it with humor or positivity. Smiling becomes a way to protect relationships. If you look okay, people don't ask questions. And if they don't ask questions, you don't have to explain feelings you barely understand yourself. Another reason is control. When life feels overwhelming inside, controlling how you look on the outside can feel powerful. A smile becomes something you can manage when everything else feels uncertain. This is why you'll often see people smiling the most during the hardest seasons of their lives. Breakups, grief, burnout, or loneliness don't always show up as tears. Sometimes they show up as jokes and reassurance. People who hide pain with a smile are often highly emotionally aware. They read the room quickly. They notice shifts in tone, body language, and mood faster than most people. That awareness didn't come from nowhere. It often comes from having to stay alert emotionally, especially in childhood or unstable environments. When you learn early to sense other people's emotions, you also learn how to hide your own. These people are often the ones checking on everyone else. They remember birthdays, ask how you're doing, and make sure no one feels left out. Helping others becomes a way to avoid looking inward. You might notice they're the friend who brings snacks when someone's sad. Maybe it's a box of donuts from Dunkin' or late-night fries from McDonald's. Food becomes comfort, but rarely for themselves. Another key reason people hide pain with a smile is fear of vulnerability. Opening up means risking judgment, rejection, or being misunderstood. For someone who's been hurt before, that risk feels huge. So instead, they choose the version of themselves that feels acceptable, the cheerful one, the easygoing one, the one who doesn't ask for much. But here's the cost. Suppressed emotions don't disappear. They stack up quietly. Over time, smiling through pain can lead to emotional exhaustion. You're constantly performing, even when you're tired. And the more you do it, the harder it becomes to stop. Many people who hide pain with a smile feel guilty when they're not okay. They think they're letting people down by being human. That guilt keeps the cycle going. There's also a strong link between smiling pain away and high-functioning anxiety or depression. On the outside, life looks put together. On the inside, it feels like barely keeping it together. These individuals often succeed professionally. They show up on time, meet deadlines, and stay reliable. But emotionally, they feel unseen. Because when you smile all the time, people stop asking how you really are. Another important layer here is identity. Some people become known as the happy one or the strong one. That label feels good at first, but later it becomes a trap. Once people expect strength, weakness feels like failure. Once people expect smiles, sadness feels like betrayal. So they keep smiling, even when their chest feels heavy, even when their mind won't slow down at night. People who hide pain with a smile often downplay their struggles. They say things like, "It's not a big deal," or "I'm used to it." Those phrases aren't confidence, they are survival tools. You'll also notice they laugh at their own pain. Humor becomes a shield. If they joke about it first, it hurts less when others don't take it seriously.
This is why comedians and entertainers often talk openly about struggling behind the scenes. Making others laugh can be a way to cope with deep sadness. Let's talk about relationships for a moment. People who hide pain with a smile often struggle to ask for support. They're used to being the supporter, not the supported. When someone finally asks how they're doing, they freeze. They don't know how to answer honestly without feeling exposed. So they smile and say, "I'm good," even when they're not. Over time, this creates emotional distance, not because they don't care, but because they don't know how to let others care for them. Another sign is difficulty resting. These people feel uncomfortable doing nothing. Silence gives emotions space to surface, and that can feel scary. So they stay busy. Work, errands, gym, helping others, scrolling, anything to avoid sitting with themselves. Even relaxing moments, like sitting at a cafe with a latte or grabbing a quiet meal at Chipotle, can feel oddly tense. Their body doesn't know how to rest without performing. People who hide pain with a smile often minimize their own needs. They'll cancel plans quietly. They'll push through exhaustion. They'll say yes when they mean no. And they rarely complain, not because they're okay, but because they've learned complaining doesn't help. Now, here's something subtle but important. These people often feel deeply, even if they don't show it. Their emotional range is wide, not shallow. They feel joy intensely. They feel sadness deeply. They feel empathy strongly. That intensity can be overwhelming, which is another reason they hide it. Smiling becomes a way to keep emotions contained. Let's talk about physical signs. Suppressed emotional pain often shows up in the body. Tension in the shoulders, headaches, tight jaw, trouble sleeping. The body keeps score even when the face doesn't show it. Many people who smile through pain also struggle to cry, not because they don't feel sad, but because they've trained themselves not to release it. Tears feel unfamiliar, smiles feel safe, but safety isn't the same as healing. Here's the most important truth. People who hide pain with a smile aren't weak. They're often incredibly strong, but their strength was built out of necessity, not choice. They learned to survive by adapting, not by being supported, and that kind of strength comes at a cost. The real issue isn't that they smile, it's that no one taught them it was okay not to. When someone smiles through pain, it's not a sign they don't need help. It's often a sign they've needed help for a very long time. And the bravest thing they can do isn't staying strong, it's letting themselves be seen. So the next time you see someone smiling all the time, pause before assuming they're fine. Pay attention to patterns, not performances. Kindness matters more than conclusions. If this video resonated with you, know this: you don't owe the world a smile to deserve care. Your pain is valid, even when it's quiet. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever hidden pain behind a smile or known someone who did? Share your thoughts in the comments. If this video resonated with you, like it, subscribe, and stay with us, because understanding human emotions starts with seeing what people don't always show.